What's going on, guys? King Strats here, back in another video on the channel, and today, I don't even know what to call this, to be honest. New hat, who this though? Anyway, I wanted to make wings, so I went with a Nashville hot rub air fried wing. So that's what you see going on here. I think there's about 15 to 20 wings, but I lost count. I went by the weight because that's how I weigh my food. Next up, we got some garlic and tomato mussels. You know I love my black mussels. I have black mussels, I guess, so that kind of fits. That's such a weird thing to say. But we don't edit things, so we move. But those are going to be really good. And then I went with some spicy sausage collard greens. I use hot peppers. You can see it if you look really close. I got to zoom in for you so you can tell there's some hot peppers going on, so they're nice and spicy. But without further ado, and I did already mention this, the hat. This is the first mukbang I've done where I'm not wearing a snapback, and that, my friends, it is because it is freezing around here, so it makes no sense to be wearing no shirt and a ski hat, right? But in my head, it makes perfect sense. But we have a blizzard going on outside right now. There's about 12 to 18 inches of snow last time I looked. I have shoveled in 3 separate locations. We'll get into all that stuff, but without further ado, let me just go into these wings. Nashville hot rubbed. I didn't want to do a wet wing because you know I like my air fried wings to be nice and crispy. Just listen, you hear it? That's the vibe. I burned a lot of calories today. Oh, God. I've become a wingaholic. So of course that Nashville hot. I also use garlic in the marinade. Again, garlic powder is the dry marinade. So I'm getting that good spice. And there's a tiny bit of ginger because I thought I was being fancy. They are so good. And so, of course, you got to have the baking powder in there. If you watch, I did wings last week. They were orange pepper wings. The process was the same. The seasoning was different. I just like to have a lot of the same things on my homemade days and kind of just switch the seasonings up. But make sure you put baking powder on your wings before you put them in the air fryer because it does make that skin just... I don't know how you feel about seeing bitten food, but I just want to show you the inside. Perfectly cooked, falls right off the bone. Nice and tender. Such an easy process. I'm not going to shout the air fryer people out because they don't want to pay me. I wish I was kidding. But I will say this. Air fryers have become such a meme lately. Well, they're totally worth it. It's just a convection oven, but they cook things evenly without having to eat up your whole house. And I have sworn by it for the last 3 years, and all of a sudden they've gotten so popular that they're, ooh, that spice, beginning to get memed. Let's move it into too. I wish I could all come through. I have some wings with you, boy. We're snowed in right now. It's freezing outside. And these wings are just warming me up, making me feel all good. Gotta clean that bone. Is that clean enough? What is that? I don't eat this part. I know people eat that cartilage. That's not for me. I'm not chewing cartilage. I eat the fat on steak, but that's about it. That's not for me. Of course, these mussels. I love mussels. I eat them all the time. They're so simple. Just use a little bit of tomato, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of oil, and you steam them up. And you get these on the inside. That marinade just, slurp alert, my bad. Just gets right into the mussels. I got something offside just to get rid of those shells. But I never really ate mussels until probably a few years ago, and now I just can't stop eating them. Just a poor man's clam, a poor man's oyster, the mussel. Oh, man. You don't even need this shell. And of course, these collard greens. Real simple. All I did, I browned the sausage in a pan, obviously. Added a little bit of oil. Not much. I don't really cook with a ton of oil, but I use the olive oil spray on these, and then I just added some hot peppers to them, threw the greens in, covered it, let them sit, let them get happy, let them just soak in those juices. And of course you gotta have a little bit of that vinegar, because my mom always made greens with vinegar. So I love the taste of vinegar in those greens. So it's got like a spicy, vinegary kind of loving to it, which you can see they're nice and... Wow. Is it bad that I stand my own cooking? Anybody out there not like greens? Is that it? Like, 'cause I know it's not. It's kind of like a cultural thing. But whenever I had people that never had greens before, and I let them try them, they're always like, "My God, like I never had these before." So good. Oh my goodness. That spice and that vinegar going on at the end, and then of course you get a little bit of the fat from the sausage. Oh. That's another thing we always did in my house too. A lot of people use ham hocks when they cook greens. We always do sausage in my house. And I think it really was because my father didn't eat pork growing up. So we always had to use like turkey sausage, things like that. Funny enough, he eats pork now though. It wasn't a religious thing. It was more, he believed pork to be unhealthy. About 10 years ago, he had surgery to have his gallbladder removed. And ever since then, he says, and I quote, "They took my gallbladder, so now I'm eating pork." That's a true story. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Spice, 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 spice. Love that spice. Pink lemonade. Always, always, always. Air fried wings though, man, I'm telling you. Get yourself an air fryer. Those are just chives you see on the side right there. Why does it look like that with the color? Look at that though. Where'd my skin go right? Oh, it's just nice and crispy. We're cool. We're Gucci. But seriously, where did all these air fryer memes come from? I've been getting DMs, getting tagged in things where, you know, people are like air fryer memes. Like that's like the new like thing people joke about. Like where did that come? I'm old, so I'm not a meme guy. I laugh at memes, they're funny, but you know, I'm not like a guy who just goes searching for memes. But I sent a ton of them because I was an air fryer guy. It's been about 3 years now, and now they're like, the popularity has just increased tenfold. When I bought an air fryer, there might have been like 2 or 3 on the market, and now if you go on like Amazon, there's just dozens and dozens and dozens of air fryers. Everybody makes air fryers now. I'm waiting for the Amazon Basics version. And by the way, Amazon some G's for that. They make Amazon Basics version of everything. You know, Amazon Basics is like their version of like Great Value. They're just trying to cut out the middleman. So you can get Amazon Basics, anything, silverware, pots and pans, you know, batteries, like just anything you can think of, even workout equipment. I saw an Amazon Basics dumbbells, kettlebells, like take some G's for that though. Even though they are pretty much taking over the world right now. You know, 2020 has been a bad year for a lot of people, but Amazon has increased tenfold because all we do is order stuff, and I'm just as guilty. I'm not judging anybody who orders stuff from Amazon because I order a lot of stuff from Amazon. And I get what people have against it, you know, the corporate, you know, I'm not here to talk about conspiracy theories, but they really do have everything, like speakers, Amazon Basics speakers. I saw it today because I was on Amazon, you know, Christmas shopping, because I really can't go anywhere. You can buy a car on Amazon. Like right in the thing, it was like, hey, brand new, I think it was like a Honda Pilot, like a truck. Brand new Honda Pilot truck. Like what the? Man, it's gonna come a point in time where the entire world is just Amazon. Jeff Bezos, man. It's crazy to think that in the 90s, Amazon started it as a bookstore. But whatever. I actually shoveled today using my Amazon Basics shovel. I mean, it's even crazier for me. Like I said, we're having a blizzard out. God, these things are ridiculous. And not only do I have to shovel my house, but we have 2 storefronts, which we're responsible for the snow removal. Which, of course, we signed on the lease. We didn't think we were going to get slammed with a blizzard a week later. But it's good exercise. I burned a ton of calories today. I was over like 5,000. Normally I'm closer to 35 to 4,000. 3,500 to 4,000. Today I was like 5,500 to 6,000, which for me is a lot abnormal. Which was good because I actually, when you're seeing this, I'm recording twice today because I did have beignets from Popeyes yesterday. If you didn't see that review, it's the video before this. They're really good, by the way. In short, if you don't want to watch it, I don't care. Like, I hope you watch it, support the channel, but I'll tell you in short, they're ridiculous. They're filled with Hershey's chocolate. Just, they're good, okay? You know. If you want to watch and support, I appreciate it. If you don't, I understand, because I don't watch everything that everybody makes either. But a lot of you do tell me that no matter what I put out, that you watch, just support the channel, and I really, really appreciate that, because I don't even know if I do that for me. I don't watch my own videos. But shoveling on 3 storefronts, going around town during a blizzard. I do have a truck, so it's 4x4, 4-wheel drive, whatever they call it now these days. And all of them probably within like 2 or 3 miles of each other, but I couldn't see 10 feet in front of me. I was driving really slow, but I had to get the snow out of there, and I'm going to have to go in the morning and shovel again. Still worked out. Still did everything that I had to do. And here I am. It's 3:15 a.m. I sound like... You guys ever see Mark Wahlberg? You know Mark Wahlberg is, I would hope. But he kind of got memed for a while. Because of the way his day is structured. Like, he gets up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and he works out. And he has like a protein shake, and then he golfs. And then he's like, you know, his voice, like, by 6:15, I pray, then I play golf again, and then I go back to the gym, do like 3 hours of cardio. You know what I'm saying? And now I used to make fun of that, and that's how I feel, because I have no spare time. But I'm not complaining. Like, I chose this. But even with today, like, normally, like, everybody went home because it was snowing, and I was like, okay, I gotta get up and do all this stuff. I was already at work. I had a couple more clients coming in, and I told them I had to make the call because one of them lives like in New York. He was in like White Plains, New York. That's not close to here to drive. I was like, dude, we'll make up the session in a day or two. Like, normally I would never do that, but safety is always paramount. And I had the shovel in front of there. I even shoveled there's a house next door to my studio. I shoveled their driveway. I like to shovel. A great workout. And when I first started losing weight, one of the things, because it was winter time, we couldn't get to the gym. Obviously, we had blizzard. I think it was, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, we had a huge blizzard. And my car was like, I had a car at the time, not a truck, but it was up past the windows. And I shoveled like the whole street just to get a workout in. Like, I'm like that. Like, I got to do it. So I did that. Went to other studio. Did the same thing, and that studio's on a hill, which is even worse, because, alright, I'll tell y'all, because nobody saw, I hope nobody, somebody probably saw it in the window. Normally I got my boots on, right, because I have like snow boots. They're really ugly, like high top, they look like Uggs, but they're mad warm, like insulated, but for some dumb reason, I decided to wear sneakers today, and my sneakers were soaked, and they're not like shoes with necessarily good grip. They're more like casual shoes. So they're not like crazy grip on the bottom. I wear them a lot when I work. So I'm shoveling, right? And I shovel fast, like I'm moving. Boom, boom. I took a step, a little ice. You know when you're gonna fall, so you start like, I had one of them moments, and I kind of did like a back fall, but I landed on my hand, and then I popped back up. You know how you try to play it off? So I tried to play it off, like a quick little walk. I hope nobody saw that though. but it was like that slow fall where it takes like 5 seconds for you to actually hit the ground. How come when you fall, you can't just splat? Like, you like, you trying to get your equilibrium, but it didn't work. But I didn't fall, but I put my hand down. You know, I was an athlete. But all the places I'm shoveling my storefronts are in residential areas. I'm hoping nobody saw me. If they did, they did. It is what it is. But some real good news for me. I actually went to my parents' house. If you don't know my parents, everybody in my parents' house, my mom, my dad, my grandmother's there, and my sister, and my nephew. They all got the thing that's traveling around today, you know, that ends in 19. And my mom, I've said this before, but she got really sick. She was in the hospital in the ICU for, what am I doing? About 2.5 weeks. But knowing that they all were on the mend, my dad, my sister, my nephew, everybody else is fine. You know, they're back to normal. My mom is home now. She's been home for about a week or so. But she still has like an oxygen, like the thing that goes in your nose. She still has one of those. But she's walking around, which is good. She can move around. She takes the tank with her. And I went over there today. I didn't go inside. They don't have it anymore, but you know, I don't want to risk anything. I haven't actually physically given my mother a hug since this whole thing happened. Or seen her face to face. This entire time. You know, it'd be nice to give her a hug, but I can't. But today I went over there because I figured that since they were on the mend, they wouldn't be able to shovel. So I went over there. I didn't have a shovel with me, but I knew they did because they have a shed. I have a key to the shed, which they changed the freaking key. They changed the lock because apparently she lost the key. So I'm outside in the blizzard, in sneakers, and I call my dad. My dad always answers his phone, but this time he doesn't. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll call my mom. I don't like to like disturb her. You know, I don't want her to, whatever, but I called her. And she picked up, which is really cool. You know, I've talked to her, obviously, since the whole thing happened on the telephone. And we FaceTime. But I called her. Of course, she picked up. And she's like, hello. And I'm like, hi, Darth. I call her, just jokingly now, I call her Darth Vader. You know, the thing. We have a weird relationship. I joke around my mom a lot, obviously. Some people may not find that funny. We use humor in my house to make light of bad situations. It's kind of what we do. So that's our relationship. Anyway, I said, hi, Darth. She picked up, and I said, when did you change the effing? Yes, me and my mom, we curse at each other. Like I said, weird relationship. I don't expect anybody to understand it, but I'm just telling you the realness. I said, when did you change the effing key? I can't get to the shed, and I'm trying to shovel. She said, oh, well, that's really nice of you. Well, the shovels are inside. Why'd you move the freaking shovels inside? She said, because we didn't want to go out there in case we had to shovel. And I said, are you guys out of your effing mind? I'm not going to let you shovel. Give me the damn shovel. She said by the back door of the house. I have a key to their house, but I didn't have it with me. I don't carry it on me. That'd be a little weird, but I said, okay, well, she's like, well, I can come open the back door. So she did. And it was the first time that I've physically seen my mother in a long while, especially since she got sick. You know, we FaceTime, but it was so nice to see her face, you know what I mean? So it just put me in a good mood to see her, and I was talking to her. I know how she's doing, obviously, but she's telling me she's not really supposed to travel up and down the stairs, but she lies to my dad because she's just like me. We don't listen very well to instructions, so she's like, don't tell your father. You know, I've been going downstairs, upstairs. She's not supposed to, but just like me, like, she's a trooper. If she can move, she's gonna move. Like, my dad tells this freaking story all the time about her. He actually said it the other week, and I said, you know how many times you told me this story, Dad? Because it did happen, we were kids, when I was a kid. But she, we got a new fridge. A freezer, actually. We had a fridge and like a standalone freezer, which I have in my house now. But we always had one, you know, like a deep freeze. And my mom was like, you know how moms get? They like redo the house, like rearrange stuff. Like you come home and the freaking kitchen table is across the room. And she said, I want to move this table. She called my dad. We were at practice and my dad was my coach. She said, I want to move this table. And my dad said, well, we'll be out of practice at like 6:30. Just wait till I get home. I'll move for you. Mom's not a big woman. My mom's probably like 5'2". You know, she's not heavy set. She's very petite woman. And we get in the house, and not only is the fridge across the room, but the freezer is installed in over here. I still to this day don't know how she did it. And my dad, of course, because my dad is he worries. You know, he's a worry guy. I'm not really a worrier, you know, only in serious situations, but he worried she could have gotten hurt and all that stuff. And he's like, why'd you move the fridge? Plain as day. That is the longest green I've ever seen. Plain as day, deadpan. Mom looks him dead in his eye and goes, you took too long. That was it. She moved the fridge that was like 3 times her size. And I still, but he always tells that story because it is like the perfect summary of what my mother is like in that sense. Like, obviously now I can say this, but she was home, you know, she just, with the sick, she got sick obviously with this pandemic thing. She didn't even tell anyone. I found out that she hadn't gone to work in 2 days, and she was just home, like, trying to, like, sleep it off with breathing problems and all kinds of stuff. It's not funny, but now, I mean, I obviously wasn't laughing at the time. I was pretty upset that she didn't tell anyone, but we're the same. It takes a lot for me to be like, okay, I need to go to the doctor. Okay, I need to go to whatever. So that's why it was kind of scary when she actually did go to the hospital, because I knew it was serious, because she would not go unless she absolutely got dragged there, which she absolutely did get dragged there twice. First time they let her out, she wanted to go home. Then she couldn't breathe again. So my sister dragged her back, literally. The whole time while she was there, she just kept saying, oh, she just didn't want to be there. She's like, I'll be fine, just let me go. You know, and they're like, listen, man, your like oxygen levels are pretty low. It's not funny. I'm only laughing now because, you know, the situation's better, and I hope anybody who's going through any kind of this stuff, like, you can kind of have the laugh about it thing. That's why this tattoo exists. I say it all the time, but the ha-has on my hand, and the smile, this whole thing, people think it's just like a Joker thing, which it is, but it's also because when I'm going through stuff, one, I've always used humor to deflect it, and two, just like this situation where a few weeks ago, you know, I was still recording and doing everything on here, and I didn't tell anybody what was going on, you guys, but my attitude towards bad times is just how I've always been, is Jesus, this wing is ridiculous. Let me try to talk my mouth full. I gotta talk. My attitude is, with the bad times, that stay the course, and one day you'll be able to look back at those times and kind of laugh. That's where the ha 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 comes from. Obviously the Joker comes into that. I've explained it before, but there's scenes in the movies where there's like, at one time Batman threw him off a building and he was laughing, like, you know, and it's not funny, but that's kind of how I approach things now. It helped with my like mental health stuff, but that was what I was telling myself when this was going on. Like, one day I'll be joking with her again, which I am now, and kind of laugh about it, which I am now. So I don't want people to think anything, like, I'm not crazy. I'm not. But that's kind of where I was. But it was so good to see her today, man. I haven't seen her in so long. Like, it just put me in a much better mood. I was tired as heck. Then I went back to my studio and worked out for probably about an hour and a half. after shoveling for a good hour and a half. I shoveled my house, I shoveled hers, theirs, and both the studios. And it's still snowing, so I'm going to have to do that again. Probably tomorrow afternoon. It's supposed to snow until like 3 p.m. Right now there's probably about a foot of snow outside. I don't really like the snow. I don't mind it. But, you know, we move. I'm not the biggest fan of like the cold and the snow. And I know I live in New Jersey, but I would rather live here than anywhere. And I've grew up around snow, so it really doesn't bother me. To the sense of like it's not a hindrance. But yeah, that was kind of my day. Now it's 3 a.m. And I'm going to get up. This is my Mark Wahlberg. I'm going to get up. I'm going to do push-ups at 8 a.m. When I wake up, I'm going to walk my dogs. I still got to walk them again, too. My dog was actually sick yesterday. The pit bull. He puked probably about 6 times last night while I was attempting to sleep. You know, so I couldn't really sleep. So I don't really sleep much anyway. But I barely slept yesterday. I don't even know how I'm still awake. You know, I'm a dog dad. If anybody has dogs, like, if you care, I know you all do, like, you gotta love your dogs. And Bane is it's almost 7 now. And, you know, he still acts like a puppy. He's still a big baby. Completely. But when he gets sick, just like you would with a parent with a kid, you know, I start getting worried. You know, so I'm starting, hey, you know, buddy, you want to drink? You want to have some water? You know, I want to eat? And he's just kind of sitting there looking at me. You know, and when he gets sick, he turns into, like most humans, he just wants to lay by my feet. He just wants to, like, you know, lay by me. I'm cleaning up dog puke all night. I don't know, probably the most appetizing thing to say while you're eating, but I'm used to it. I cleaned up his poop and his pee and his puke as much as a parent probably would. A lot between the two of them, but he was really sick and just throwing up, little stomach bug. He's fine now, but I was worried yesterday because, you know, I don't like seeing my dog suffer. So instead of sleeping, I ended up turning my light on and he was at the foot of my bed and I just kind of laid next to him, you know. That's what he likes. He likes, like, he's very, my dog, especially him, the German Shepherd is a little more wild. Bane is the calm one, and he's like a cuddler. Like, if I'm laying down, and he will put his chin, because a lot of pit bulls do that, he puts it on the foot of my bed, and because he won't come up with that unless I tell him to. You know, he just won't jump up there. So he'll just put his like this. You hear a snowplow outside. They've been going off all night. So probably have to dig actually I'm parking in the driveway. So I'm good. But he's a very needy, like, baby. You know, I say that all the time. Like, you're just a baby. So I just kind of lay there next to him. You know, pet his head behind his ears. He likes that. And he feels better now. But you get worried anytime a parent and your kid's sick. You know, so. And he can't talk. He can't tell me what's wrong. So you just kind of gotta feel him out. So then you, of course, because you're puking, you get hungry and then you eat. And then you puke. Then you drink water and then you puke that. So there's a lot of cleanup, man. If you have a dog, you probably know this. If you're interested in getting a dog, you know, people want to get a puppy because they think puppies are cute. Puppies are cute. They're also gross. Like children. They pee and they poop all over the place. But make sure you invest in a good vacuum. And you invest in a good, like a pet cleaner, a spray. You're going to need that. Like Resolve. All that stuff you got to get. Very important. Because you're going to be cleaning up a lot. That stuff, you gotta get it up, because it'll stain your carpet and smell your carpet up. Probably gotta shampoo the carpet. If you have a hardwood floor, it's a little easier. But I got carpet. Lots and lots of carpet. And you can also forget about having nice things. Furniture. Also, don't wear a lot of black because you'll be covered in dog hair. You know how many times I've gone places and somebody be smiling at me and I'm like, what did I do? And they're, you have a dog, don't you? You think? I don't know why. I don't have a lot of pet peeves, but one of the more annoying things that people do. Have you ever had like a bad accident? And I mean like an accident like you spilled something. Like, say you're wearing like a white t-shirt and you spilled like fruit punch, like right here. It's a blotch of red, right? Why do people always have to, hey, what happened to your shirt? Or, hey, you got something on your shirt there. Like, you think I don't notice the big red splotch in my shirt, man? That's a stupid thing to get annoyed. That annoys me. People are inherently curious, so I don't hold it against them. But at the same time, like, you know, like you have to ask them the same question all the time. A lot of people, like, and I don't get annoyed about this anymore, but I used to be really self-conscious about, like, that scar on my face. It's getting darker now, which is good. But I do have a bad habit a lot of times because it's been there for a very long time, but it won't heal because I pick it. I always pick the scab. I've been picking it for like 8 years, and I don't know if it's like a nerve thing or what. I'm trying to get better at it, but I still pick it. I do. I just continuously pick at it and pick at it and pick at it. So, but, you know, people are always curious about it. I don't really get annoyed at it anymore, but always people, hey, what happened to your face? Can I ask you what happened to your face? And I'm like, is there a good story that I can tell you about how I obtained a scar on my face? You know what I'm saying? I'm not like annoyed at people. The one that does get me though, and it's more of like a, really, is I don't get it on here. I get it on Instagram a lot. I don't know because the population there is different. People ask me constantly. You know, I do like little snippets of these videos. And I've been doing it for a while. But a lot of times people will say things like, yo, is he crying? Does it look like I'm crying? Am I the first person ever to have non-tears, but tears? I'm also the first person who can cry out of one eye. You know what I'm saying? It's all a good thing. So a lot of times you'll be like, nah, it's a scar. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry and stuff. But I'm just like, how did you think I was crying? Oh, maybe because my eyes are always red because I always record so late. When I get tired, my eyes get red. That's why people think I'm a 420, and I'm not. And it's crazy because it's legal here now in New Jersey. You know, they just passed it during this last election. It's legal. Doesn't change anything for me. But if you want to do it, like, go ahead. But people love to think that, I guess because I'm eating such large meals, that I'm under the influence, but no, I'm just fat. I like food. And eating meals of this size, chilling. The only time that I'm uncomfortable while I'm eating is when I do the food challenges. Because it's a challenge. And I'm supposed to challenge myself, so sometimes I'm forced to eat things that I don't necessarily like. Or I'm forced to eat a lot more than I normally would. The Pizza Hut one was up there as far as bad. I think the worst one I did though, probably Boston Market, to be honest. Pizza Hut was up there. A lot of sodium and bread. And drinking that half gallon of milk at the end, just, you know, as a flex, probably wasn't the smartest thing. But Boston Market wasn't the most calorically. I think the Pizza Hut one was actually, because it was like 12 and change. You know, like 12,000, like 75 or something like that. I forgot exactly what it was, but Boston Market was around like 10 to 11,000, somewhere in there. The thing about that one was the weight of the food was so heavy that, you know, mashed potatoes, cream spinach, pot pie, like a couple pieces of cornbread. I ate the entire protein menu, so I had ribs. The video's on, if you go to my playlist, it's on the eating challenges one. This was before I was doing them in real time, but that one was tough because I got the large sides and all the protein. So I had an entire chicken, a full rack of ribs, a half a turkey, like just crazy. Like it was just so much protein and then so much heavy food. In case anybody's wondering, the most calories I've ever eaten though is actually in an old video here. I have 17,000 calories at an Irish pub. It was in 1.5 sittings, so not one sitting. But it was all within like a 3-hour span. But after that, I couldn't even drive my car. I felt like my stomach was driving the car. And everything I ate, it was like shepherd's pie, mac and cheese. Everything was fried, everything was breaded, everything. And that's why it was so many calories. There's a lot of fat. Oh, I was in bad shape. And that was like, not Christmas Eve, but the day before, it was the 23rd. Woo! I am not looking forward to, if I'm fortunate enough to hit 20,000 subscribers, because that'll be the day that I attempt to have 20,000 calories. I don't think I'll be able to do it in one sitting. Unless I eat really, really like heavy food, which would be tough too. But that is the plan. I also already picked out my eating challenge for this week. It's a heavily requested one, so if you did request certain ones, because a lot of you said the same place over and over again, it is that place. And I'm actually excited for it. That's the thing about these challenges. You're actually excited because you want to try some of the food, try the menu. But when you get about 3/4 of the way through it, you're like... And there's a difference between sampling stuff and eating it all, you know? So that's where it gets tough. Whew. A lot of shoveling. I'm going to be sore tomorrow. Oh, that is a spot. But anyway, beanie on here. You notice the background. You notice the new... I've got some adjustments I'm doing. I'm changing my studio up a little bit, but it's going to be a little more like this with some more add-ons to it, you know. And I'm going to try to get a new table because I can't fit everything that I'm eating on these tables and the eating challenges. But anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching and your support. A lot of familiar faces comment on all of my videos, and I try to interact with everybody on here. And you guys have been, excuse me, jeez, so supportive, so awesome. Thank you so much for enjoying the content. I'm enjoying making it very much. And you know, we're going to keep rocking and rolling. So thank you so much. We'll be back, of course. What's tomorrow? Thursday. Yes, we will be back tomorrow. More content. I love y'all. Hand signs. They made it to YouTube. They're already here.